So you're trying to start and work out, which is great. You should start to work out. It's great. You're gonna grow muscle. You're gonna either get lean or bulk. Either one. And so with that in mind, here is my advice for anyone, for you and anyone else who is beginning to work out. And my first one is the most important advice. I said this in a short, but I don't think I have the right spirit. Start to fucking work out. Don't be a bitch. Stop watching those motivation videos and not doing shit. That's not gonna help you. You have to actually work. Motivation can only go so far. Motivation cannot make you work out. You're gonna have to realize this. You're gonna have to realize that if you want to get lean, if you want to look nice, if you want strength, you're gonna have to fucking do the work. It's annoying when people think, oh yeah, I'll start next week. I'll start tomorrow, Fucking start today, or else you're never going to start. Start now. You don't have stuff to do? Do push-ups. Do fucking pull-ups. Do shit. Don't sit around. That's what I've always done. I didn't have a gym. I didn't have access to a gym. And so for a year and a half, I did calisthenics. It's great. But also, do fucking stuff. Don't sit around. If you sit around, you're wasting the time. You have the correct motivation. Except put to work that motivation, or else it's useless. And my second point, for any beginner, is to eat correctly. You want to eat correctly. Let's say you're bulking, you're cutting, and you start working out. Great, which is great. But you need to eat correctly. If you don't eat correctly, let's say you're cutting, and you're still eating all sorts of shit, nothing's going to change, except you're going to get muscle. But you're not going to get rid of all that fat. You might get strength and everything, but you're still going to look fat. The way to fix this, dieting correctly. If you're wondering about dieting, well, guess what? I've been posting recipes on my channel. Like, I posted 2 and I'm gonna post more. But also, get an app. I put this in my videos before. Get an app. Start tracking your calories. Look online. Look for your maintenance calories. Mayo Clinic has a great calculator. You put in your weight, your height, your age. You put in whether you're a male or you're a female. And you put all this information. And it gives you how much maintenance calories you need to eat. And let's say you're cutting. Eat below that number. Eat below that the amount of calories. And count every fucking calorie. If you don't know what it is, overestimate. It's better to overestimate than to underestimate. Now let's say you're bulking. Eat more than that maintenance calories. And if you're doing any sort of cardio, when you're bulking, eat that amount of calories too. Let's say you burn 500 calories on the treadmill or some shit. Eat 500 calories to compensate for that. But not just any calories. Don't eat junk food. Don't eat processed shit. It's terrible for you. It's gonna hurt your macronutrients. It's gonna hurt your future health. You're gonna increase your estrogen. That microplastics in processed food, like junk food, McDonald's, whatever it is, that microplastics, they fuck up your testosterone. And so you're gonna create more estrogen, which is not good. You're gonna get man boobs. You're gonna get gyno, which does not look nice. And if you want to get rid of the gyno, you're gonna have to pay thousands of dollars for surgery. It's just not good. So eat correctly. This is really important. You need to eat correctly. If you eat the wrong macronutrients, your testosterone might hurt a lot. You might not know it in the very short end, but in the long end, it's gonna shit. It's gonna be shit. My next advice for any beginner is that a lot of the supplements, you might think you need them, but you actually don't. You don't fucking need them. You can start right now. You might be thinking, oh, but I need my shipment to come in. Oh, but I need to get more money so I can buy protein powder. Or, oh, I need to buy creatine so I can bulk properly. You don't need that. You don't need that. This is all to help, sure. But you don't need it. All you have to do is eat correctly and work out. That should be perfectly easy. And if you can't eat correctly, then you're not going to get your goal. But let's say you can't pay for the correct macronutrients and you have to buy junk food because it's cheap. Well, that's fine, but understand that that's going to hurt your future health. And your future health, you're going to care a lot more about that if you start to get into more money. And a lot of people have that in their life where they They treated their young life like shit, and then they pay the price after their life is actually great, and they realize, oh shoot, I can't do this for that long. I'm gonna die soon. I live a shitty life. Okay, well, try to fix it now. And I'm sure you understand what's good and what's not. If you can't buy organic, you don't need to buy organic. Just don't buy processed shit. That shit's stupid. My next point is whatever you're doing, whether you're bulking or cutting. Actually, if you're a beginner, you might not know what a bulking and cutting is. First of all, cutting, it's where you cut away the excess body fat and you lose weight generally and make it so you look, maybe you want abs, you're gonna cut most likely. But if you're bulking, that means generally you are skinny or maybe skinny fat and you're trying to gain weight. And with this weight, you're mainly trying to gain muscle. And now with this in mind, you need to understand, never take the bulk or the cut too far. When you take the bulk and the cut too far, it ends up you either being fat or skinny fat. Both do not look nice. Skinny fat, it's generally a result of fast cutting. Like I did it myself. My goal was to get rid of 60 pounds before the end of summer. So I would come to the school with a 6-pack or some shit. And I did it. I did it in 2 months. Now the only problem was I still did not have reached my goal. Even though I cut that 60 pounds, I didn't reach my 6-pack goal. And that's because all that fucking weight I lost, that was all muscle. When you cut too fast, you lose mostly muscle. But if you cut slowly, if you cut all your fat away slowly, not too fast, you're mostly going to lose just fat and not muscle. And if you do it like that, you're gonna have that 6-pack any time you set for yourself. You're gonna have all of that. You're gonna have all the muscle you had. And if you do it the short way, I did it myself. It's fucking dumb. I did it myself. What ends up happening, you lose all that muscle, and you're like, oh shoot, now I have no muscle. You can't see anything. Oh, I have to bulk. Bulk again. Oh shoot, now I got all this fat. Oh, I have to slowly. And my whole point is that you take it slow. This is not supposed to be fast. You need to understand this. This is not going to happen overnight. This is not going to even happen in 2 months. Maybe if you're bulking, it might. But if you're losing fat, depending on how much fat you have, you're probably not going to be able to do it. Like if you have, let's say 30 pounds of fat or more, it's not going to be done in 2 months. Actually, 30 pounds, maybe 40 pounds, let's say. You're not going to be doing that in 2 months. You need to understand that. You can't do that fast. And when bulking, if you take that too far and have 10,000 calories every single day, you're going to end up being fat. That's not going to still look good. Sure, you might have a lot more strength, but you're going to have a lot more body weight. You're going to have a lot more body weight. You also want that muscle. You want to be like as lean as possible, but be able to have, you might have that strength. But you want to be as lean as possible, so that way your body weight, your strength is going to be a lot in comparison better than anyone else. Because you're going to be a lot less, because you're going to have a lot less body weight than the other dude who's like weighs 50 pounds more than you and lifts only the same amount as you. It's going to be a lot more impressive. Now my next point, this kind of goes with my first point, but if you want to get some sort of goal, if you want to get something somewhere, if you want to get fitness, you have to have a goal. And you have to be so motivated to actually do it. Well, not motivated. You have to be you have to want to do it. You have to want to do it, and you have to realize there is no greater time than now. You need to realize that if you want to get fit. There is no greater time than now. If I'm going to wait, oh, I want to get access to a gym. I can't drive right now. I'm going to just wait a few months till I can be able to drive. Oh, I don't have access to a gym. And I don't have any weights around. Too bad. Do it now. You need to understand now is the time to take action. And with that, the now is time to take action. You also have to set a goal and a timeline. Now, I told you this before. I set a goal, which was to lose 60 pounds before the end of summer. Do you realize what I just said? The thing I just said is a time, one, and a goal. So you need to set a timeline for yourself. Don't make it too short like I did. Let's say you want to lose 20 pounds. Give yourself 1.5 months, 2 months. Great. You're going to look great after that 1.5, 2 months. If you want to gain 20 pounds, set yourself a goal of 2 to 3 months. That's a good amount. You need to set a goal, and you need to set a date when it has to be done, or else you're never going to do it. You have to give yourself, and that's only going to keep you more motivated, because you're like, oh shoot, I have to hit this date. I have to hit this date. But if you're like, oh, it doesn't really have to happen now. It doesn't really have to happen. Like, I could skip a day. You know, I don't have some time I have to do it on. You're just gonna become lazy, and you're gonna lose motivation. Also, next thing, once you hit your goal, set a new goal. You have to keep setting new goals, or else you're just gonna stop working out. You need to know this. You have to know this. You need to set a goal. You need to set one. You know, I just set my new goal, which is to get shredded again, and I'm posting that daily. You need to set yourself a goal. And I might not have a time limit, but my other motivation is I have to do it every single day. I'm not gonna take a rest day because I wanna post this. I wanna get views. If I'm being serious, I wanna get views. I wanna get views on that stuff. You need to have something that keeps you reliable. My final point is that protein, whether you're bulking or cutting, is still very important. Although, when you're bulking, it's a lot more important. You don't need protein powder, but you still need protein when you are cutting. I talked about this in my cutting video, and I talked about this in my bulking video. You need protein, at the very least, for both bulking and cutting, and for over 100 grams of protein. For maximum for cutting, try to aim for a maximum of 125 grams. For maximum of bulking, I'd say 140 grams is a good maximum for bulking. You don't want to end up having too much though, because if you have too much, in the future, you're going to ruin your kidneys. If you consistently have too much, your kidneys are going to be destroyed. You need to realize not too much, but you also have to realize I have to have some, and make sure to incorporate protein in every single meal. You know what? This is actually a bit of a bonus. Stop having so much fucking sugar. Supplement it. Get rid of it. I talked about this in my cutting video, and I've talked about this in my shorts. If you like soda, get energy drinks, or find something else. Find diet soda. Just make sure it doesn't have all that sugar. Sugar is crap. It's addictive, and you need to get rid of it. So with that, please like, and I'll see you all later.